a lot of people praised Curtis Lazar for his game last night. The effort level was huge. They obviously throwing the big hit to knock was it Devon Taves that
Yeah,
he
it was
knocked into the
Taves.
bench? Big hit there. 3 hits, 3 blocks in the first period. So he had a great night. I want to bring up, I don't think Lazar made the cut for these dog ratings, but we'll see. Let's pull up the dog ratings here from last night because Will Lockwood was another guy I wanted to highlight. Oh, Lazar was 118, but Will Lockwood set a single game record with a 181.69 dog rating. Incredibly nice game for Will Lockwood last night. I think it was 8 hits and something like 9 minutes of ice time. Killed some penalties. What do you
Yeah.
think about Will Lockwood right now? How different do you look at him from, say, the end of last season?
A lot
Do you
different.
see a different guy? What do you see?
A lot different. He's always had the wheels, but I see a player now who's comfortable enough, decisive enough that he just looks like he belongs, if that kind of makes sense. He's not a deer caught in the headlights, which is what I kind of felt he was at points last season, where sometimes it looked like he wasn't sure where he was supposed to be positionally, when he was maybe supposed to chase a puck, when he was supposed to stay and just kind of hold his ground in a defensive position, making plays on the breakout from the defensive half wall. I thought he really, really struggled with that, and he definitely wasn't killing penalties at that time. So I remember last season and even going into this year when there was talk about him making the team out of camp, I was really down on him.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't think there's any chance of him really making the team out of camp, and he didn't. But credit to him that he hasn't let that deter him, because for a player in that position who got his cup of coffee, he sees Lazar brought in, he sees Joshua signed, all these sort of additions. Sheldon Dries is re-signed. He's probably doing the math in his own head and going, man, well, what does that say about how they view me?
Yeah, that's a spot that I should be battling for, and
Exactly.
you're adding to it. That's a tough thing for
Exactly.
a player to look at,
It would have been so easy for him to look at that and go, well, dang, that's it.
yeah.
Like,
Damn,
I'm not
buy a house in Abbotsford.
yeah, exactly. So credit to him for sticking to it, for continuing to evolve, because now when I watch him play, there's a decisiveness to his forechecking routes. And that's helped him, because I think the speed of the game, he just wasn't acclimated to in his last go around. And I don't mean his foot speed. I mean, just processing wise,
Totally.
understanding where he needs to be to react to plays, how he needs to support the puck. In every sense of that way, he looks way more comfortable now.
I see that so clearly from being ahead of the play in the AHL. Like, that's what he was at.
Yeah.
He was ahead of the play in the AHL. There's times where he's not only like forechecking, he's just beating guys to pucks in a typical forechecking situation. Plays of breakouts, he's just a step ahead of everyone. Like, you can see it. You could see it with Lane Peterson as well. All year long on the power play, he was a step ahead of everyone. That's why he's up in the NHL. Lockwood, same deal. He was a terror in the AHL this season. Just watching him skate around the ice, you could just tell